Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Game Week 12 League 2 score predictions versus Fleetwood Town, Ben Natman, or better known on YouTube as Cods Vlogs.
Hello, and thank you to Sam for having me on to predict some Sky Bet League 2 predictions. If you haven't already, get subscribing to Sam as well. He's producing some really good work of late as well, so he deserves a subscription, and like the video as well for him.
If we have a look then at how myself and Jake got on last week, it was not a great week for either of us, but especially Jake. He has now accumulated the lowest total point score, taking over from Chal and Alex on game week 6 and game week 9, so it wasn't a particularly great week for us, although I did get one correct score. I predicted Salford 1 at Grimsby 2, and obviously that was an accurate score, so the total points now are 54 to me and 48 to the guests. But as always, if you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. Can we try and hit 100 likes on today's video? And don't forget as well to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are now on the road to 11,000 subscribers, and get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below, how do you think your team will get on this weekend? And a big thank you once again to Ben for coming on this week's League 2 score predictions. There'll be a link to his channel down in the description down below as always, so make sure to go over and drop him a subscription. He makes some of the best EFL content in the game. But let's waste no further time and get straight into it. Let's start out then with the Friday night kickoff between Newport County and Chesterfield FC. It's 13th versus 12th. Chesterfield obviously have had a pretty positive start to the season. They've only lost 2 of their first 11, but then at the same time they've only won 3 of their first 11. A lot of draws for them so far. They've drawn 4 out of their last 5 matches, compared to Newport, who've won 2 and lost 3 of their last 5, and they're still yet to lose a game so far this season. There has been, I think, 31 goals in the Chesterfield games, but then also is that 37 goals, if my maths is correct there, in the Newport County games. So I can see there's certainly been a few goals in this one. I'm maybe going to go against the grain slightly. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win for Newport. Let's see what Ben thinks.
Newport entertained Chesterfield at home. Now I feel at this level you've got to be good at home. Newport have done that so far this season. Chesterfield, it's been frustrating at home. A lot of draws when they should have won. I do feel they get over the line in this one. Decent away from home. They win by 2-1.
Accrington Stanley versus Barrow AFC. Accrington finally coming out of the relegation zone at the weekend after a brilliant win away at Gillingham. Darragh Costello bagging in the last minute. Barrow have had a positive start to the season. Recently though, have slipped up a little bit, just 1 win in their last 4, and they have lost 3 of their last 4 matches, so the wheels are slowly starting to come off. At this moment in time though, I'm going to go with a boring 0-0 draw. Let's see what Ben thinks.
Accrington play Barrow. Big game, local game. You know, Accrington coming off the back of a couple of good results against Morecambe and Gillingham as well. Barrow, just a couple of poor results starting to creep in. I think it'll be spoiled in this one. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
My team, Bradford City versus Gillingham FC. Now I'm going to stick with the same score prediction that I gave on the match preview that I did with Gills in the Blood TV over on his channel, so make sure to go check that video out if you haven't already. But we've obviously picked up 7 points from our last possible 9. Gillingham have picked up no points out of their last possible 9. 3 straight defeats for Mark Bonner's side. We're coming off the back of decent form. We normally know how this one does then. We'll probably concede really early on and struggle to get back into the game. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Let's see if Ben agrees.
Bradford play Gillingham. Big game for both football clubs. Gillingham have now lost 3 on the bounce. Bradford have won back-to-back games and taken 7 out of the last 9. If Bradford want to do anything, they've got to sort the home form out long term. They've not been good enough at Vale Parade over the last few years. That's why they're still stuck in this division. However, I do think they get over the line in this one, adding to Gillingham's misery and winning by 2-0.
Bromley FC versus Tranmere Rovers is 20th versus 19th. 2 sides who have not won in their last 5 matches. They've both been on really poor runs of form. For their last 5 matches, there's been 2 defeats and 3 draws in there for both sides. Tranmere are struggling for goals so far this season. They've only averaged 0.5 goals per game so far this campaign, whereas Bromley have only won 2 of their first 10. I don't think there'll be many goals in this one. I'm going to back Nigel Adkins' side though for a 1-0 away win. Let's see if Ben agrees.
Bromley play Tranmere. Bromley are a very frustrating side to play against. Big, physical, they play for each other. Tranmere are very lacklustre, not great going forwards. They don't have a lot of in attack. I do think Bromley actually win this one being at home. by 2-1.
Carlisle United versus Harrogate Town is up next then. Carlisle now bottom of the Football League after losing 8 of their first 11 and conceding 23 goals in that time. Since Mike Williamson has come in, they had a good start against Swindon, but then it has been 3 defeats out of 4, drawing at the other match, so just 1 point picked up out of their last possible 12, compared to Harrogate, who've had kind of an average start to the season. They sit 14th in the table. I'm going to back Mike Williamson's side though to finally get back to winning ways with a 2-1 win, which might potentially see them come off bottom of the table. Let's see if Ben agrees.
Carlisle, a win has to come for them eventually, and I feel they get that this weekend as well. At home, a decent crowd expected as well. Harrogate are picking up a win here or there. You always pick a win when they need to, whether it be Bradford, Doncaster at home, or Newport at home. Recently they won away at Colchester, so they are doing alright. I just feel Carlisle have to start winning games of football, and they do that. They win 2-1.
Colchester United versus Cheltenham Town. Colchester currently sitting 17th in the table with only 1 win in their last 5. They've only won 2 of their first 10 so far this campaign, compared to Cheltenham, who are on a really poor run of form at the moment. They're on a -5 goal difference. They're 21st in the table. They've only won 3 of their first 11. I can only really see this one finishing in a home win for Danny Cowley's side. I'm going to go 3-1 to the Colu. I'll say that. Let's see what Ben thinks.
Colchester played Cheltenham. Colchester were my real underdogs of the season. However, I don't think they are that now. I feel because of the squad that they've built, they're a good competitive squad. I feel Cheltenham are poor in so many areas. They've got key injuries to key players like Adua J. So I do feel Colchester will nick this one by 2-0.
Before we do go any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 100 likes on today's video? That would be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. How do you think your side will get on this weekend, and how do you think every other team will get on as well? Crewe Alexandra versus Salford City is up next then. Crewe have had a really positive start to the season. Recently their form has been a little bit shaky, just 4 points picked up out of their last possible 9, but they are certainly fighting for a playoff spot at the moment, compared to Salford, who've not had an amazing start to the season, kind of where everybody would have expected them at the start of the campaign. It's 3 wins, 3 draws and 4 defeats, just 18 goals in their games so far this campaign, but I think there'll be a couple in this one. I'm backing Lee Bell's side for a 2-1 home win. Let's see what Ben thinks.
Crewe plays Salford. Crewe again started the season a bit shaky after a playoff hangover. A load of key players missing. Salford are in transition a little bit. Crewe at home, I fancy them just to nick a 2-1 win. I'm going very heavy on the home wins at this weekend as well.
Grimsby Town versus Walsall FC. Two sides who are probably overachieving so far this season. Walsall sitting up in 4th, 2 points off of top with a game in hand, compared to Grimsby, who are currently sitting level on points with the playoffs at the moment. Just goal difference keeps them outside of it. They've picked up 4 wins out of their last possible 5. They've been on a really good run under David Artell. I think this one is going to finish in a draw. I'm going to go 1-1. Let's see what Ben thinks.
Grimsby play Walsall in a big game for both football clubs. Walsall conceded 8 in the last 2 after only conceding 4 in the first 8. Grimsby, 6 wins, 5 losses, a draw is pending. I'm going to go for 1-1.
Morecambe FC versus MK Dons. Now, Morecambe have picked up their form recently, just 1 loss in their last 5. They've drawn 3, won their first match of the season as well in the previous week. But I see this one finishing in an away win for MK Dons. Scott Lindsay's gone in there and results have been a little bit inconsistent so far, but I think they'll get another 3 points in this one. I'm going to go 2-0 to the away side. Let's see if Ben agrees.
Morecambe host MK Dons. Big game for Morecambe because they have started to get better. They've only lost 1 in the last 6, 4 draws, 1 win, 1 defeat in that time. Some good draws over good sides against Notts County, Bradford, and being 2-0 down against Fleetwood Town in that period. MK Dons have started iffy under Scott Lindsay. They've started iffy this season. Only 3 wins in the first 11. I do think the Dons will get a win in this one and win it by 2-1.
Notts County versus AFC Wimbledon. 2 sides who I would expect to be up there come the end of the campaign. Notts are kind of struggling a little bit without Jody Jones. Just 1 win in their last 5 matches so far, compared to AFC Wimbledon, who have had a really positive start to the season. They've picked up 10 points out of their last possible 15 available, and obviously I think they won their first 4 or 5 5 matches, something like that. They had a really positive start to the season, but I see Notts getting back to winning ways in this game. I'm going to go 2-0 to Stuart Maynard's side. Let's see if Ben agrees.
Notts currently play AFC Wimbledon in one of the games of the day, in my opinion. Notts are a good side. They are missing Jody Jones, still creating a lot of chances. Wimbledon really good at home. However, this one away from home, need to take their home form away from home, be competitive. They've got good strikers in Bugle, Stevens and Piggott. I do think Notts nick this one. 2-0.
For the penultimate time in today's video, we're going to move to Port Vale versus Ben's team, Fleetwood Town. Port Vale obviously is at top of the table. They've been brilliant under Darren Moore. They've only conceded 12 goals so far this season. Their matches have been quite tight, not many goals in them. Fleetwood obviously sitting 11th in the table at the moment. They're unbeaten in at least their last 5 matches, and again, they've only conceded 9 goals so far this season, but they do have a couple of games in hand on a lot of teams. I'm going to back Darren Moore's side though for a 3-1 home win. Let's see what Ben thinks about his own team.
Port Vale against Fleetwood, big game this. Both clubs came down from League One last season. Fleetwood actually took 4 points off Vale last year, with Jaden Stockley scoring 3 of the Cod Army's 5 goals against the Valiants. He now wears the shirt for Port Vale. I do feel the points will be shared in this one, which would mark a good start for Fleetwood, winning 4, drawing 5, losing just the 1 game, taking 17 points from 10 games. And Port Vale would go 8 unbeaten, winning 5, drawing 3, taking 18 points from their last 8 games in total.
Swindon Town versus Doncaster Rovers is the final game for us to go through and predict in today's video. Swindon obviously sitting down in 18th in the table after only winning 2 of their first 11 matches, but recently they have picked up 5 points out of their last possible 9. They're slowly starting to turn things around there under Matt Kennedy. Doncaster obviously sitting second in the table at this moment in time. They picked up 7 points out of their last possible 9. I do see this one finishing in a pretty comfortable win for Grant McCann's side. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for the Rovers. For the final time in today's video, let's see what Ben thinks.
And finally, Swindon Town against Doncaster. Doncaster, great 1 minute, maybe not so great the next minute. Swindon are a bit of a up and down team themselves. The good wins over Newport and last weekend away at Cheltenham were good, but I think those are two of the sides that are maybe worse than Swindon. They've not got a great squad overall. I feel if Doncaster want to do anything this year, they've got to start putting a real run together now, and then at the end of the year, you know, building on that and trying to get into the top 3. I do feel Doncaster win this one and win it 2-0. Thank you, Sam, for having me on. I hope you have enjoyed my predictions. I hope you like the Bradford one as well, and subscribe to Sam if you haven't already. But I hope I beat you.
And there we have it then. There are our Game Week 12 League 2 score predictions. If you have enjoyed, make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. 100 likes on today's video will be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. How do you think your team will get on this week? And a big thank you once again to Ben for coming on the League 2 score predictions. As always, his channel will be linked down in the description down below, so make sure to go over and subscribe to him. Also, let me know down below any future guests you want to see me try and get on the score predictions series. Have a great rest of your day though, and I'll see you very soon for another one.